Oh hi, good to see you. I hope you're doing alright. Before we start everything, it is Weeknotes 2024 Quarter 2, Week 7. And we're going to do something slightly different this week. I thought I would very briefly talk about what Weeknotes are and why I do them, why I do this, because there's a couple of reasons. And I'm doing that because this week has been a little bit messed up. You know what? Let's go back to Monday and I'll show you. Good morning. It's a particularly weird week this week, so it's going to involve some planning. This is what I do on Monday mornings anyway, but let's have a quick look. So my days are broken down like this. In the morning, on Monday, I have planning and admin, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I have admin and stuff. Friday morning, I do my week notes, and then on Friday afternoon, I do end of week admin. In the afternoon here, this is when I do my actual projects. At the moment, my highest priority project is the script writing. And also, there's not always a lot of admin and stuff to do in the morning, so sometimes that rolls into here. It's just carved out time in case there's a lot on. I know I've got time allocated to it. However, every other Thursday is also newsletter day over here. But things are slightly different this week because Wednesday afternoon is a hospital checkup. Then Thursday, my youngest has an exam in Coventry at 9 o'clock in the morning, so we have to drive all the way there, and I don't think we're going to feel much like doing any work on Thursday afternoon either. So this is out the window, newsletters floating. On Friday, my wife is going into the hospital, which involves being sedated, which means she's going to be a space cadet for the whole next 24 hours, and I have to look after her to make sure she doesn't use any heavy machinery or cooking or anything like that. So Friday is kind of out as well. So now I've got week notes, end of week admin, and newsletter. Just going to have to trash this. Now week notes, I'm going to try to edit throughout the week so that on Friday I only have to quickly wrap that up, so week notes might be a bit strange. Now, I think it's fair to say that this is the point where what I planned and reality actually diverged, and nothing after here is what actually happened. Which means that I don't have any footage for Wednesday and Thursday, very minimal for Tuesday, and I think we'll get back to what I had for the rest of Monday in just a moment, which is why I thought we'll talk about week notes. Let's go sit down over here. So week notes are primarily a business tool that allows different departments in a business to kind of communicate with each other. So if you have a large organization, it's quite a lot to keep on top of email and Slack channels just to get like a little overview on what a group is doing. So it's encouraged that somebody in a group, say you're the design decision, will each Friday do week notes, which is a set of bullet points, and it's kind of important that it's bullet points to make it very simple, otherwise people won't do it, where they say, this week our team did this and this and this, so we hit this snag and this thing here. Another team over here, like the back-end development, might do the same thing. So anybody in the organization can look at the week notes to kind of get a feel without having to trawl through emails or things like that. Obviously, if you need to know more information, you're a management, you can dive in, but it's just like this transparency within the organization. However, quite a few of my friends who are old school bloggers find this kind of useful to do instead of blogging, where you would write something when something interesting happened. It's kind of a practice to do something repeatedly every Friday to keep in the writing habit, but without the commitments of a blog, but more information than doing in tweets. Now, I like the idea, but I'm terrible at writing, and doing a newsletter once a fortnight is enough for me. But I do like doing videos, so I figured I would do a video version of it and expand slightly on the bullet pointness of it. And there's a link below that explains it a lot better than I've just done it now, and it goes into how corporations use it and how people use it personally if you want to find out more about it and how you might want to use it yourself. There's another couple of reasons why I do it though. The first is simply so I can remember what I'm doing. So I did it for the whole of last year. So if you wanted to know, hey Dan, what did you do in the third week of February 2023? I can actually go back and have a look, and because I'm quite a visual person, that when I see one thing, I kind of remember the stuff that goes around it. And I like knowing what I did. There's lots of times before I did this where if you asked me, I wouldn't really have a clue what I'd done last week, last month, last year. The other thing I find really useful is I have transcripts of all of those videos that I can do text search on, and also I can feed all of that to the AI and then query the AI about what appears in this Weeknotes video and bundle all of that in with all the other AI stuff I'm doing with the AI journaling to get an overview of patterns and stuff that I self-report for my workday. It's kind of a repository for all of that, and I now have nearly a year and a half worth of stuff that I've done. Now, the second to last reason why I do it is I used to do these Tuesday videos. I considered Tuesday videos to be my main video, and then these Friday videos to be my Weeknotes video. And my main videos are all about pen plotting and design and what I do. However, what was happening from that is whenever I posted something about pen plotting, I'd get asked, that's interesting, how do I get into pen plotting? How do I find out more about it? And I realised there wasn't really a good resource for people starting pen plotting. There's lots of resources, but not sort of a good set of tutorials that takes you from zero to being able to do something. So I type a reply, and that would take time, and I was like, I really wish there was a resource that I could just point to and go, look at this, so then I can get on with the next thing. It was taking up a lot of time. That's when I decided to make tutorials, so I'd have this resource that I could point people to. But because I wanted those to be kind of evergreen and stick around for a number of years, I also wanted them to be good, and I wanted to learn how to use this equipment like the camera, the lens, the editing software, how to get used to talking to the camera so that the tutorials would actually be okay, or maybe even good, because that would be great as well. And I realized the only way I'll do that is that I forced myself to do a weekly thing, use the software weekly, use the cameras weekly, use these microphones weekly, talk to the camera weekly, and then when I started to do the tutorials, I'd actually be kind of good at doing this type of thing. And that's actually worked out quite well. The fourth final reason for doing these is that I do like to share what I'm doing, and I know there's people who like to see what goes on during the week. I know there's some people who dip in and out, and there's other people who like watch every week because they don't like to use Twitter, or they don't like to read newsletters, and blog posts are a bit odd, and it's nice just to sit down for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes and have a little catch up. I kind of like it for that reason. But I must confess, the main reasons are all selfish for me. I'm doing them for myself. I'm doing them to learn all the stuff. I'm doing them to train my AI. I'm doing them for my own memory. So the fact that I'm sharing them public, which is for accountability purposes, is just kind of a bonus. So that, in a rather rambly nutshell, is Weeknotes, why I do them, and why I find them very useful. But like I said, this week, none of that really happened because there was just too much outside of the studio commitments going on. I did, however, record some footage, I think, about the pen plotter going. So let's see if I can drop that into the edit. Because I set the plotter away doing all of these text-based things, which are kind of fun, and I recorded a video for a whole bunch of those. I'm really having fun playing with letter forms, words. This is Lorpum Ipsum text here, and some older code that gets all the text there. A lot more adventures than this. And then after that, well, I think you can guess what happened after that. So that was my week this week. Slightly different week notes. We're going to attempt to get back to normal next week, although there's a lot of weird stuff going on at the moment. But with all that said, I'm going to wish you a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a great time. We will catch up again next week. The tutorials, which I keep talking about, I finally finished all the scripts for them. Now I need to go revise them and then spend the next few weeks recording them. And hopefully in a few weeks, probably 3-4 weeks, we'll actually start uploading them to YouTube. So that'll be good. I'm saying it now to make it happen. Right, have a lovely weekend. I love you all. Bye.